So the topic in these talks is non-duality, uh, and and that's basically, you don't emphasize it anymore after that. Yeah, you want to emphasize the activity of what you're not, because in this situation, it seems to be more important than what you are, because you seemingly have forgotten what you are. Yeah. Seemingly, it's appearing to be true to you, but the fact is, it's not true. That's the great news of non-duality. You actually are what you're looking for. I mean, I don't. Sooner or later, you're going to find a huge relief just from that statement. Yeah. It's going to bring about a huge relief, a huge exhale, a huge dropping of the shoulders. It's said many different ways, but I like On Having Never Left. I like it a lot that we named a book by it, On Having Never Left, because it explains everything. Now, you can get to that explanation, or you can start from that explanation. Yeah, but you're going to either arrive there and realize On Having Never Left, or realize On Having Never Left, and your travel plans will be severely diminished. Yeah, it's going to be one way or the other, but it's always going to inform you on having never left sooner or later. Yes? Haven't you ever had a hit where it just, when the whole story of Paul stopped, there was a sense of what's going on, and that sense of what's going on, because it's always what's going on, there was a broadcast of that. It's always been this way. Yeah. Now, then the story continues. It isn't like it's always been this way, and then the story stops. It may stop for a minute, it may stop for a while, but usually it starts up again. But the fact is, it's starting or stopping doesn't change the fact, yeah, of that. That's the good news. So, because a lot of the belief and a lot of the meaning that are given things is that they can do things or are doing things that they're not doing. Yeah. So we have a statement in recovery, something blocks us off from the sunlight of the spirit. Yeah. Now, if there was a sunlight of the spirit and you were not that, then a lot of things could block you off from it. Yeah. But if you are the sunlight of the spirit, then that belief that something can block you off from it drops. Yes. Because you are the sunlight of the spirit. In other words, sort of like if we use the example of, you go to try to get a tan and you have everything to promote a tan, but one cloud can stop you from being successful in promoting the tan. Maybe you'll buy a tanning salon or whatever, a tanning booth, but basically you've been stumped getting the natural experience of laying in the sun and getting a tan because a cloud has come between you and the sun. Yes, that's an experience a lot of people have. Now, what would happen? Do you want to keep saying the cloud is not blocking me off from the sun? It doesn't change anything, does it? Really? Yeah, it just still seems to be blocking you off from the sun. What would happen if you questioned that position that seems to be able to be blocked off from the sun? Maybe you go, well, am I there? And if you're not there, which is the assumption of non-duality, you're not where the mental condition wants to place you. You're not there. Yeah, you're everywhere. So therefore, no matter where you are, it's still everywhere. Yeah. The singularity of a physical position isn't an independent, long-lasting, separate thing. It isn't. We're everywhere. Yeah, not as the thing, but as what we are. So let's say if I am the sunlight of the spirit, now I don't have to chant that. All I see is I'm not that, which is getting blocked by the sun. And then suddenly I have a tan, so to speak. Yes. Yeah. Because now that which I was giving power to, the cloud, is still seen as a cloud, but I'm not giving it the power to block me off from the spirit. Yes. Because I've seen I'm not where I think I am. Now, the thinking I am there will continue. Yeah, it will. I don't think you're going to convince it not to keep placing you somewhere. It's almost like a GPS or a triangulation. It wants to locate you that you were Paul, you will be Paul, and then bam, there you are, Paul now. But in fact, that's not true. That's all. Does it produce effects? Seemingly, because it's us that believe it's true when we do. And so we, as reality, can produce effects. Yeah. We can produce effects from something that's not happening next week. We do it all day. Yeah. Some people, I remember very clearly, not that long ago when I was at an AA meeting, a woman was there that was completely agitated, totally flipping out. Yeah. No one else in the room really was, but she was. And then she said, and there's something that I have to go to court August 15th. Now, this was July 20th, by the way. It wasn't even close to August 15th, but she was totally flipped out about August 15th. Nothing else can do that. Yeah. We're the only example of that. Dogs don't do that. Cats don't do that. Yeah. But we have a very strong mental activity, and that mental activity can place us in a future event and produce an effect now, because that's the only place an effect can be produced is now. Yeah. You think it's being produced by worrying about a future, but the effect is now. It's not in the future. You're not at August 15th on July 27th. You're just not there. Yeah. And I could see now, is there a solution to that? If I sat with her, oh, let's calm down. You've got plenty of time before August 15th. But really, if the problem is rooted in what's not happening, why should you even offer a solution in a sense? Yeah. The solution would be it's not happening, truly. Yeah. Now, this may be confronted your idea of compassion or empathy or shit, but sometimes it's the perfect reaction or response, which is, hey, it's not happening. You know what I mean? It really isn't. Once I dive into her belief, yeah, and start swimming in there, I'll probably get fucking taken down by, September 12th. I have some date or something, yes? They'll all be swimming around like sharks. And you're thinking, I have an immunity, you get pulled under, yeah? So, yeah, okay, let's breathe, have some tea, not some coffee. You have things you can do to chill out a little bit. But basically, the root of the problem isn't August 15th, is it? No. No, it isn't. So this is where I feel the idea of compassion can be disputed. Yeah. So what would really be sort of like, to me, I learned when I first was in AA, you want to help everybody. Yeah. Then I realized, hey, I'm doing a lot of people a disservice trying to help them, because it seems like I'm trying to keep them from their bottom. And the bottom is going to produce what's necessary. It doesn't mean it's always necessary, but for this person, they need a collapse. Yeah. Or it's going to be just the same old, same old. They need what we call a bottom. So who am I to keep them from the bottom? That's not service. I don't see it that way. Yeah. I may feel better, I'm helping someone, but is it actually helping them? No. So there's a lot of wisdom and discrimination start coming up when you're actually located where you are. Yeah. Yeah. That you're solidly rooted in, and it's not an effort in what's happening. It's not an effort. You got 5 or 6 reminders: seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, thinking. Yes, thinking maybe is going into the past and future, but the seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, my knee is not misleading me. My ears are not misleading me usually. Yes. Yeah, they're hearing what's happening now. Now the head's hearing something that's not happening. And because there's been an obsession with this idea of self, which is a mental presentation, a lot of the attention and interest that we call ours is seemingly up that ass in a certain way. Yeah. That's why there's a necessity, if the diagnosis is you're up that ass, to have some skillful means available. Like, yeah, to me, watching Netflix, watching a series like Bloodline will distract you enough so that in a half hour you'll look back at the same circumstance and see it differently. Yeah, because the way you're looking at it from, there's an agenda going on. It's not giving you a clear optic. It has an intention to like lengthen this idea that you're fucked. You're gonna be, you've been forever. Yeah. So basically, yeah, there's skillful means at hand, but non-duality is a different beast. Yeah. It's not like a tool to use when you're trying to fix the dreaming, yeah, or trying to get out of something that is being dreamt. It's basically a negation of the relevance and of all the meaning that the dreaming is saturated in right now, because we think it's us, yes? We think that we are the dreamt, we are the object, we are the action figure, yeah? When there's a loss of interest in that, there'll also be a concurring loss of interest in a lot of other stuff, yeah, which is like preoccupation with what's not happening. And these things will change, not by you pushing them or wrestling with them, just by a loss of interest, because it's the interest in a you that's feeding all this, because all that reinforces the interest in the you, yeah. It's like a symbiotic situation. So if I go and dwell for a few 8 hours with this lady about August 15th, I bet you she's going to call me in a few days about August 21st. Yeah. And it's going to go on. And in a weird way, there'll be a complicity in giving a reality to that which I don't believe is real. Yeah. Yeah. So this is what happens when there's a compromise that gets co-opted by the mental take, yes? You're thinking you're actually being of help, but in a sense you're not, yeah? So, yeah. So let's get back to the non-duality. So non-duality is based on what's looking is what you're looking for. The seeker is actually the sought, being ourselves reality. All of these basically all your journeys to arrive to a place get negated by on having never left. Yeah, obviously your whole travel trip, your whole like blog for the 3 months of traveling to the other shore, and then upon arriving on the other shore and having never left, there goes the blog. Really, the 3 months are like, it was seeming like all these meanings were combining to reach a crescendo when the big meaning, I've arrived, occurs. But you see the fallacy of that in a split second. Yeah. Because when you arrive, it tells you you've never left. Now, I don't know how many times it's going to take for you to arrive, and I hope you can do it through satsang. It'll save you a lot of money, and maybe you'll get a lot of travel miles, so you'll get a free trip down the road. But basically, hopefully it'll save you some time, yeah, and just skip gone to the other shore upon arriving, and now here it is, on having never left. Yeah. So let's just put on having never left. Life looks like it's gone. Life looks like it's taking me to another shore. Look, and yet I'm traveling lighter through it. And then when I arrive, the fact is still the fact on having never left. Yeah. You see how influential that can be? And if you have a sense on having never left, you'll see all the mental gyrations very clearly. Yeah. You'll see them. And then there's a truth that's told. Yeah. And it hits you. And if it hits you sufficiently, it can back off. And now you can just enjoy chilled out. If you don't seem to get it, it's going to whack you until you do. That to me is love, really. Yeah. It just whacks you until you sort of get it. And then once you get it, it's not like a continue whack-a-mole. You actually hit the mole and it doesn't appear again. It's not, yeah. Another one doesn't pop up. It's just whack. All right. Yeah. And then like even Ramana, I feel the great master, when he was putting out this idea of self-inquiry, he definitely made it clear it's not a discipline. It's not something you freaking do. It's something that can happen, that when you get to the point of resting in that being, you'd stop asking. Yeah. You just enjoy. You enjoy the space. Now, if the head goes and you believe you signed up with that trip, then you can ask, well, who is it that seemed to sign up for that trip? And then when you recognize it isn't you, on having never left. Yeah. And so you keep catching. The going doesn't mean you went. It means the head went. It's different. Yeah. Oh, I've totally lost it. No, you haven't. Yeah. That's just like it's almost like fishing with skyrockets, you know? It shoots a rocket, you hook it up, and then you think, oh, I totally flipped out today. No, you're not. Yeah. Yeah. When all the flipping out is said and done, you basically never left. Yeah. You can never excommunicate yourself from what you are. The head says you can. Yeah. But it can't. You can't. In that sense, you're completely irrelevant as the mental activity. Isn't that great news? Yeah. It doesn't truly change a thing. It doesn't. But I'm so uncomfortable. Oh, give me a break, you know. It's not going to kill you. Yeah. Maybe it'll show you shit. Yeah. What? It'll show you you've never left. All right. Oh, I just love to travel. Well, do you really? You know, do you really want to keep looking for what's looking? Do you? I mean, seriously, isn't there any other topic or hobby you could pick up? So the presentation is you are what you're looking for it. Now let's stop looking for it and let's look at what we're not. Yeah. If you need a reason why we keep looking at what we're not, that's the reason why. Being ourselves reality, there's no need to look for it. Yeah. We are it. Let's look for what we're not. Yeah. Let's understand it to a certain point where we can travel well with it, where it will save us a lot of time and a lot of trouble and a lot of drama. Yeah. And we'll be easily, we'll always find ourselves in the neighborhood of everywhere. So we're never lost. Yeah. Yeah. And it grows on you after a while. And if it doesn't, or it doesn't seem to, what's telling you that isn't you? Yeah. Just come to satsangs and you'll see that. And then when you see that, you'll see why, when there's an option between the selfing as a thief and the selfing as a policeman, it's actually cooler to go the thief way. At least you have some fun and shit. The policeman is like got a giant stick up its ass, and now you're being held to a fucking lofty level that you will never succeed at arriving. Yeah, you're not going to be perfect. You know, you're not going to be the greatest meditator. You're going to fail. That's the whole point. Everything is supposed to fail, so you stop relying on it. And then you find the only thing that can be relied on is a no thing, us. Yeah. That's the only reliable game in town. Yeah. Not us as Paul, obviously, but us as everywhere. And then put it to a test. And you will come to believe, like we say in recovery, you will come to believe that something, and I don't want it. Who cares about a name or a suit or anything? Just as long you have an intimacy with it. You don't have to have a clear, specific definition. You just know it's a pointing and there's intimacy with that. So you now know that something is doing for you and for others what they can't do for themselves. And then there's just an expansion on that fact. Yeah. And now, being completely perplexed and dumbfounded by a day that you have to manage and attempt to control, to arrive at certain goals to produce a security so that you can feel a little better or some value. Yeah. Now you can travel lighter through all those mental demands because you're not buying them. Yes. Yeah. You start at being okay, not driving to become okay. Yeah. Yeah. I already know I'm a fraud, so I'm not afraid of being a fraud. True. Everything here is fraudulent. So I don't give a shit. Yeah. If someone's upset with what I say here, I'm not saying it anyway. Take it up with something else. Yeah. Yeah. You're not going to pin it on me ever. You're not. Yeah. Because I'm very clear it's not. The action figure continues. It doesn't have the ability to have a panoramic view. Yeah. It has a panoramic concept, which just keeps making you smaller, really. More myopic in a way. So okay, now we look at what we're not. What do you mean look at it? Well, there's an awareness right there and then. It's not an activity. It may be, but it's constantly on. So how can you tell if it is or not? But awareness is aware, yeah? So you can become, because you are awareness, and you can become aware of what's arising and what departs, yeah? Because you don't have that quality, first of all. You can discern the difference because you don't arise, nor do you depart, yeah? So you're always here, so you can tell when shit that's not always here is appearing, yeah? And especially when it's appearing and implying that it's always here, because you're always here, and you haven't seen it for that long. So you're completely sure it's not always here, because you're actually seeing it from what's always here. Not from the mental condition, but from whatever you want to call it, spiritual condition, inherent condition, the conditionless condition, who cares? But you're before. You're before everything that comes and goes. You're before everything that comes and goes. Yeah? No matter how long the thing came, and now no matter how long it took to go, you were there, before and after. Yeah? There's not one thing that comes and goes that was before you and is going to be after you. Because there's no before or after in us. Yeah? It just is. It totally encompasses the idea of before and after. The before and after is a mental idea appearing in it. Yes? It has no, I've been living for 8 years. Oh, you know how small that is in like the universe's fucking ruler? I mean, I've been feeling like this for a few days. Oh, that's definitely real. Fuck, incredible. Any feeling that lasts for a few hours has definitely entered the real territory. Now I can't deal with it any other way. It's so unique. No one else has ever had this feeling for as long as I've had it. It's a different kind of fish. No, it isn't. It's the fish that you see in an ocean. Yeah. And that ocean is a content in the context of the space. We are of space. Yes. So, and if you're home already, when someone comes in and enters and then starts spouting a story that it's its house, you see it, don't you? Because you've been there already. You're sitting there already on the couch when he comes in and starts pontificating. I always sit on that couch. I own this place. No, I'm here before you. But if you're taking yourself to be the mental state, he'll immediately, completely say it's before you. It talks to you as if it's before you. It talks to you as if it's God. Yeah? Not to you, but it talks and we hear it. There's no you. The hearing of it claimed as the hearer is what presents to you, truly. So forgive the language, but I remember when I was young in this non-duality stuff, some people were going to write a language, a non-duality language. I said, fuck, that's a lot of work. You know what I mean? I'm going to get bored before you get to the second letter in the alphabet. I mean, Jesus Christ, really, a whole language, new language? Let's just not take this language as seriously as we used to. Yeah, yeah. See the futility of it before you want to make it perfect. Yeah, just tell the truth. Yeah, hopefully what we are always speaks louder than what we say. Hopefully. Yeah. So, all right. So the non-duality. You can study a little of what you're not. Yeah, you can understand what you're not. You can experience what you're not, in a sense. That is the realm of experience. For an experience to be noted, there has to be an experiencer. Yes, that's the only thing that gives it a story in time. Is the story of the experiencer, doesn't it? That's what seems to be a life gets breathed into the experiencer, because most experiences puff out, don't they? Yesterday's surfing doesn't fill me up today with surfing. Yeah, it's an activity that needs to be done in a way. Yeah. So, but the experiencer can have a story that you're a surfer and you haven't gotten in the water for 20 years. I'm living on that one for a while. So I try to buy more shirts with surfing motifs because I'm not in the water much anymore. So I got to look like I just got out of the water or I'm going to the water. But basically the water, I'm not really. And the wave level is like 2 to 4 now. I can't go too much bigger than that. Maybe river surfing. I don't know. So, and there was never been a surfer that was surfing. Never. There's no surfer that ever came out of surfing. There was just surfing. So, yeah. And I hope this is helping you or whatever. If not, I hope the humor works good. Yeah, for you. Yeah, good. Because basically, what are you going to do if your job is to just present nothing? You got to throw something in there, like shirts, T-shirts, or something. Because you're going to get nothing really from these talks. That's the point. So, yes, there you have it. I don't want, you get the direction, yes? We're not interested in how you're doing, in a way. We're not. We're interested in the doing that produces a you, yeah? I'd like to see that. And I hope you see it so that it won't be taken as seriously. And you'll realize that's the real root of the problem is just an inordinate amount of interest and attention going into this activity called selfing, really. A lot of belief and faith and interest and attention. When that's withdrawn and there's no you that withdraws it, there's a withdrawing of it. Yeah. When that's withdrawn, that which seems so difficult with that obsession with self is seen quite easy when you've lost interest in yourself. Yeah, it does. It's quite easy, really. So, yeah. Any questions tonight? Hey, I have a question for John R. How you doing with the water over there?
Hey, Paul. Lovely to see you, mate. Thank you for asking. It's pretty hectic, mate. Fortunately, I didn't get wet, but I was an island on my own there.
Yeah.
Just got back in from doing a bit of cleanup. I thought I'd come and attend yours and then get back into it. Yeah, we're still here. And,
Good. I'm happy you're all right.
But thank you for asking. Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, we were there. The last time we were there, we were in February, I think. Yeah, and it really rained, but it didn't rain. It had a short run. We got caught on a downpour in Bangalore. Yeah, unbelievable. I had to pull over. You couldn't see shit. And I know it always has a tendency to flood, but this one sounds like a heavy one. Lismore.
They say never in recorded history of Australia or anything like it. But
I
Yeah,
know
I live
Lismore
really
pretty
close to Murwillumbah. I drove in as the water went down, and just all the roads were ripped up. And I've got a 4-wheel drive, so it's kind of okay. But I got into town, I was just in shock. The water had actually ripped through the main street, maybe 6 foot high, you know, in the main street. Yeah,
Yeah.
incredible, incredible.
Well, I used to go to Lismore a lot, and that whole place got totally
Oh, mate. Yeah.
destroyed.
2,500 houses up there, or maybe more, being declared uninhabitable now.
You know, this funny thing is, in a way, the head is always excludes itself from things. We really could. This is jokingly, but you know how everyone's looking out for the end times, and they're looking from the end times,
Yeah.
looking for
Yeah.
the end times coming. You know what
When's
I
it
mean?
coming? And we're in it. Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, I just want to really thank you for everything, and it's been an honor to be here. Should it be the end times, because you know, whatever. But I think why I continue to come back is just to try and connect with heart and let go of that head stuff. You know, my head's in. I've almost got a siren going off in there at the moment. You know, high alert all the time. But you know, inside it's like relatively calm. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, this is what satsang is. It's an association with truth, let's say. Yeah.
yeah,
And for me, truth is like a healing balm in a way. When a truth is rooted in on having never left and stuff. Because
yeah,
so much seeking is driven from a wrong premise.
yeah,
And so that can be easily corrected just by hearing the message because you are what you're looking for.
yeah,
So when you hear it, it registers or rings like it the clang doesn't sound like all the other bells. It has for me it was like an unspoken yes, just reverberated. And it's always had life since. Not many things I've ever heard about have had that effect. So yeah, yeah, I'm happy. You know, people come here, they can't sleep, so they listen to this. It's just great. Yeah. Yeah, just get together and let an ease and comfort arise instead of, all the other shit. So yeah. All right, thanks, John. Nice to see you. I'm happy all well there.
thank,
With
thank
you
you very
anyway.
much. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, John. Do we have any other questions right now? I don't see any hands up at the moment. If anybody has a question, you can go ahead and raise your hand.
All right, Dave, let me just present a statement, yeah?
Sure.
And then do what you want with it later. But it comes from the Course in Miracles. I may be missing it, paraphrasing, because I can't find the book. So there's a statement: being firm in faith in this something else you've made to be yourself is the act of denial of what you are. Yeah. So firm in faith in this something else that you've made. Yeah, and I don't believe you made it. I think the mental state makes it to be yourself. Yeah. That activity is the active denial of what you are. So I'm not saying you're doing that activity. See, that's why I don't like the language because it sounds like you're doing it. That you are the one who's firm in faith and there's something else that you have made to be yourself. I don't believe that. I believe the mental state is directing faith into this activity. Yeah, because it's how it directs faith is it uses this idea of you almost as a fulcrum to have faith and interest and attention to go where it wants the faith to go. Yes? Not you. You're not full in faith in this something else that you made to be yourself because you didn't make it to be yourself. It's claimed that it is you. Yes? Yeah. Yes. And faith is just a force, it's just an energy. That which is directing the energy doesn't have much juice, but that faith does. So when that faith is put in, that's something else that it's made to be you, yeah, it's a pretty good production because of that faith. Yeah. Now, and that activity, because of this dualistic nature of how the dreaming unfolds, that activity is on the opposite side of the coin, the active denial of what you are. Yeah. You can't have a clearer diagnosis right there. But see, the way the language presents it, it sounds like you're the one that's firm in faith, and you're the one that made this thing be yourself. That's just going to produce tons of guilt and shame in this little spiritual realm. Yeah, the conceptual spiritual realm. You're not. You're not the one who has faith. Faith, yeah, is put into things. If the faith is put into this idea that you're the one, you're going to really feel like you're the one because there'll be a lot of faith in that idea. Yes. When that faith is withdrawn, yeah, in this act of reinforcing the something else that it has made to be you, when that's withdrawn, the act of denial obviously diminishes, yeah, and then that which seems so forgotten becomes obvious. That which has never left. Yes. So it's the recognition of the activity of the head and not claiming it as your activity. This is what a lot of things miss. Yeah. There's still the same old guilt and shame for you're doing shit you have nothing to do with. You're not you. The little head called Paul is not directly, is not, it's doesn't have faith. Yeah. Faith can be put in it, but it doesn't have faith to direct. Yes. So, and then the you that you've made to be yourself, I do not believe you've made it to be yourself. It's presented itself to you as you. Really. Yeah. And so there's been a believing and faith in this dream, and it's just taken us like a wave would take something. Yeah. But now the wave has been seen through in a sense. You're still in the movement of the wave, but you're not the wave, let's say now. Yes. And you're not being defined by the movement of the wave. So every movement being claimed, ding, wave. No, there's now a pause, and you see that which is claiming the movement of the wave, and the ding that you're the wave doesn't happen. It does, it still gets rung, but you're not buying it. Yes? That's what I'm talking about freedom. It's not the shit stops, the interest in it moves. Yes? The non-existent thing, you're not going to get the chance to vanquish it. It's the non-existent thing. It would have to be existent for you to try to escape from it. It isn't. I mean, in the zombie movies, they had a big problem. Even worse, there was a movie in America called The Blob, right? In the early 50s. Now, The Blob looked like a giant thing of jello, and it could only move like a half an inch every 5 hours. So you could have a picnic and go, oh, here comes the blob. It would not induce any fear if you saw the blob. It's going to take hours for you. You know what I mean? So it's like one of the worst fucking creatures they ever made, because people, oh, there's the blob, because it couldn't move. And like the same thing with the zombies. They're always shuffling very slow. Oh, zombie. But then they got it. Guy from England, 28 days later, after got them, they were running like crazy. Now, yeah. But the zombies are coming. Okay, pass me a cigarette. Yeah. Warn me again in 4 hours when they're near the corner. You know what I mean? So this is what the head does. It doesn't say the blob's coming. It says you already are the blob. That's what it does. You already are the blob. You were the blob, you're going to be the blob, therefore you are the blob. Yeah. If you said you were the blob and now you see that you're not, it would, the whole story, you wouldn't buy it, would you? Oh, yeah, the blob's like just an inch away, but I know I'm not the blob. So if the head kept telling you, you're the blob, you wouldn't buy it. You were the blob, you wouldn't buy it. And then it goes, you're going to be the blob, you won't buy it, right? But how the head works is it says you already are. Yeah. When you feel like Paul, you feel like a historical Paul. Yeah. When you feel like a doer, it's not for that which was just done, that you've done everything. Yeah. You've been the doer for years. This is how the trick it manufactures its success by this little magic trick of time. It's not presenting, oh, you're going to be in a mental hell, driven to alcohol and drugs, completely demoralized, and it's going to happen. But hey, wait a minute, it's not happening now. I'm not buying that shit. But no, it's telling you you've been already fucked. And you're going to be fucked again. It's amazing, eh? It puts us right to sleep. Because the conditioning of this is time is linear. That there was a past, a present, and a future. And they don't change positions, yeah? There's past, now, future. But the head knows better. So the head, this is what Ramana said, that which comes after is implied to be before. So the selfing implies that there is a self. But where is the self implied? Not after the selfing, but it's implied to be before the selfing. Now it's suddenly you that's been selfing. You see it? See the principle there? So the selfing, someone gets the message and they call me. Oh, I've been selfing all day. You see? No, they haven't been selfing all day. They never were selfing, but now they became aware of the activity, but not the product. Because they're the product, yeah? The selfing now implied there was a self and then presupposed, and now the self is saying, I've been selfing all day. Like it was doing it, yeah? You see it? Oh, you don't need, that's the principle. That's truly the principle of the mental activity. The mental activity happens after, but it implies it's before. Yeah? And you can recognize it when you see it. You'll see there's doing, but every time there's doing, there's the same doer that's implied. Yeah? And not only the doer of that doing, but the doer of all doing. If you see it, you're also going to see from somewhere or nowhere, and there's going to be a sense of that when you see that. If you don't see that, you're looking from it, yeah? The awareness, in a way, has been neutralized. It's been neutered because you're starting from an after view, but it's implied to be before all views, yeah? You're it. You're the alpha and the omega, and it's not true. So hopefully if you see it, I don't know, once, maybe 30 times, who knows? It's going to crack. There's going to be a straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah? It just can't handle truth. It can't push it off too long. Yeah? It gets totally, the thing will collapse. It will appear to be so again, but there won't be that living of it, There won't be a living faith in it anymore. You'll see it more like a cardboard presentation. Yeah. And then I'll tell you, if you were anchored not through effort in this moment now, you could withstand most of the storms of yesterday and tomorrow, really. They can't blow this house down. They can't. Yeah. So, there you go. Anyone else? I'm
Actually,
gonna talk more if no one else asks a question. You better ask one. Save
Yeah.
yourself from the onslaught.
I just wanted to comment on, something you said. You said the attempt to vanquish it, or the faith in what you're not, like the attempt to vanquish it strengthens the faith in what you're not, right? Like the
Of
seeking
course it
energy.
does.
And it
Just
can get really subtle. It can, that energy, that movement can get really subtle.
of course it can. But the thing is, don't try to change the words of what you're speaking, but the spirit where yourself is giving it too much credit, tell you the truth. It's selfing.
Mhm.
It's a mental activity. There's no noun to be found, but you don't have to go through the effort of, whatever. Yes, but just have the understanding. Yeah, because that sense of self just shows you what I just shared. Yeah, there's an arrival at a noun based on the claiming of a verb. Yeah, so the selfing is used to make up a noun, and then the noun starts feeling guilty about doing the selfing. Isn't that insane? Really? At least as it acts as if it produced something that actually was used to produce it. It's like Frankenstein and the monster have they've moved positions. Yes, the monster thinks it made Frankenstein.
We do have another hand up, David Spreadwick,
Oh, David from Milton.
Melbourne. Yep.
G'day, Paul. G'day, everybody. Paul, I used to enjoy playing poker, online poker, and I thought I was really, really good at it, although I was losing every cent I had. And I don't know how I came across this guy. He was an American guy, and he was, I can't really remember why he used to do this, but he used to give people advice on how to play poker, And he said one of the main rules of thumb for him, I don't know if it was across the board, but for him is when you sit down at the table, you look around the table, and if you can't see the sucker, you get up and leave, because you're the sucker. Anyway, I didn't have a freaking clue what he meant.
Yeah.
But that's what this seems like a lot. I get up and leave the table pretty often now, mate. But I don't play poker anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yes. Yes. Yeah. If you don't see him around the table, it's you. Yeah. Yes. But see, the thing is, you may still stay at the table, but you'll travel lighter through the playing of the poker. Yeah.
Yeah, and losing all your money, you don't really care. It's all good. It's all gone. The money.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, bro. Nice to hear from you. Anyone else?
Yeah, Bill and Kathleen have their hands up.
Oh, Bill and Kathleen.
Dynamic duo.
Let's make it let's be truthful with the emphasis should be on Kathleen and Bill, actually. But yeah, we'll go with the Bill and Kathleen.
But I'm the one that got to write it on there. So anyway, thanks for everything. Appreciate it as always. But I pretty sure I'm firm in the non-dual understanding, and I so appreciate your delivery and the repetition, because it just I say it like it dyes the cloth a lot deeper and a lot stronger the more I get close to this. But anyway, what's been blowing my mind lately more, and it's not a new idea or concept, it's something I've heard and I just could never accept in the past, in non-dual teachings and in Course in Miracles, is basically the idea that everything that is going to come has already happened, and everything's kind of like a pre-planned thing, you know, and even to the point, not even to the point, but that would be also up to and including the whole, my whole experience, say here in this life, of thinking was something that I wasn't, and then realizing, seeing what I'm not, and having an experience that I am not that, the non-dual understanding, I guess. But even all that had to happen for a certain amount of, in order for the absolute to know manifestation, basically, like to know there had to be a forgetting of the self, of ourself, you know, and that time, that's all part of the natural process. So everything that has ever happened and ever will happen is all like perfectly planned and done, and basically all we do is sit and enjoy the show along the way, you know. And that's like that was an idea I had a hard time believing, because I always kind of had this firm conviction in we all have this free will, you know, which and you know, independent wills, and there's like 7 billion different wills all going on, selfing, and when really let me see, I don't want to get lost in that idea there, but that the idea that there's just one thing happening, you know, and we're just part of it, you know, and everything's already happened that will happen. Like the thing in the course, a couple quotes that I love from there are where it says, you know, your passage through time and space is not at random. You cannot but be in the right place at the right time. And in another place it says, what could you not accept if you but knew that everything that happens, all events, past, present, and to come, are gently planned by one whose only purpose is your good. And that's something that's really just taken root in me lately. It's kind of blowing my mind, because I believe it to be true, and it changes everything. It changes everything that I've ever believed about everything, I guess. And that's it.
Great. They were nice quotes.
Yeah, but they're powerful to me, in that.
Yeah, that's the point. Yeah, that's why whatever I use is sets off avalanches, you know, while I'm sharing. So I go back to them. You know, those statements are not meant to be understood from the dreamt. Yeah. Yeah. Because the dreamt pay scale isn't at that level. Yeah. So it may be, because it can't really be grasped by it, it may hit somewhere else that it leaves an impression. But that impression that's left is the impression itself. Yes, we are that. So I don't, yeah, you know, there used to be the idea of the physicists know there isn't any world, and they go home and they're still super pissed when the paperboy misses the porch, you know. So a lot of these understandings don't have any traction really in the traveling lighter for me. So I don't have much interest in it. Yeah. So my sight is on the dog shit level of awareness. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering, because it's been a big, like, it's almost like the experience I've had.
Well, let me jump in, Bill. Let me jump in for a second. So, in a way to explain that, there's a thing I read from a little pamphlet from Ramana's teachings. And so, because obviously he was asked this many times, yeah, is there free will, or is there predetermination, or what? And he said, listen, if there's a sense of individuality, there'll be a sense of free will. Is there free will? It doesn't matter. You're going to have a sense that you have free will as the action figure, yeah? And the predetermination is probably the case, but really the only value those questions have is to see who's asking the question. Yeah. just to weaken that idea, instead of going off and pondering these ideas. Yeah. He doesn't say there's an individual. He says there's a sense of individuality. That's what's being produced by the selfing, yeah, and reinforced. In that sense, you have a feeling when you go into Baskin Robbins that you have a choice between at least 5 of the flavors. You know, you don't like all these other, but at least 5. So, and that no matter how much evidence to the contrary, that sense is still going to happen as an action figure in the dreaming. Yeah. As long as there's a sense of individuality, there's going to be a sense of free will. They go hand in hand. Is there free will? No. But do you have a feeling like you have free will? Yes. Yeah. So we have the same thing in recovery a lot. What's God will or your will? And it's just ridiculous to me, but whatever. But there's some, the best level of understanding action figure needs is it's fucked, basically, on some level. Yeah, it's not managerial quality. That captures the angst. Yeah, so yeah. But yeah, they're beautiful statements, and I could say they're true, but it doesn't matter how true they are to me. The meaning is going to override them. Yes, because the meaning believes there's a porch and there is a newspaper that's delivered on Sunday. Yeah, even though you just discovered there is no world, there's going to be a sense of this world. Yeah, and this isn't in that. This is the producer. This is the example of that being produced. This is the representative of all those senses. The sense of free will, the sense of being the doer, all that. This is the image of it. Yeah? You're looking from it all day. So it's like, I'm with my dog at times, and my dog has a certain parameter of understanding. Yeah, it doesn't comprehend much, but what it comprehends, it's fucking really good at. I mean, it basically is the dominant influence in the house completely. Yeah. So, but it has that look when hey, I hate to break the news to you, dog. You don't have free will, and it turns his head like, what? What? I mean, if there was a clean slate, it could maybe get it, but it's predetermined by its programming. It's a dog. Yes, it's gonna. Yeah. So, yeah. So if the action figure is reading the Course of Miracles, it's going to be seen as too much. Yeah. If you hear the Course of Miracles from what you are, it's quite beautiful, quite incredible. I mean, it's an incredible piece of download because it actually produces a chant-like effect if you read it out loud with people. It has a certain mechanism that induces brainwave changing. Really, it's an amazing thing. But the reading in and of itself is an understanding that the reader is never going to have. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
When there's a reading of something, can be a huge whack, but the reader, it's above its pay scale. Yeah. So.
Yeah, you know what? I think you just said what I was trying to say is that for years I read that as the action figure. And then I saw it from what I am. And that it was like all the what we call mental activity just stopped.
Yes.
Exactly. I mean, and when it does come, it's like it's clearly seen that I don't even have to think that it's not me. I just see, It
Yes.
just doesn't have any root anymore. That's what I was kind of trying to say there. It's,
Yeah, so the Course in Miracles isn't directed as the dreamt. It's not directed towards the dreamt. It's directed towards the dreaming, let's say. Yes? Yeah. And it's quite good at triggering that which is not the dreamt. Yeah. Yeah. So.
I read Course in Miracles for years, and I never understood what it was talking about till I met a non-duality teacher, and he had no idea what a Course in Miracles was, but somehow it made all the sense to me. After when
Yeah.
someone talked about, because I didn't see it because I was doing what you said, reading it as the action figure.
Yes, yes. Yeah. Well, there you have it. Yeah. There's a lot of treasures right underneath our nose. Yeah. They're usually found by not looking for them, really. But yeah, I don't know if I could. I've been dumbed down quite a lot. Yeah. Yeah. I've been dumbed down. I think simplicity is incredibly valuable when you've been in the opposite of it for many years. I mean, it's wonderful to be broken into just, what's my target today? I don't know, maybe getting a coffee, something, not like, is there an 11th dimensional multi-universe happening? I don't know, maybe. What, is it going to change anything if I say it is, or if I say it ain't? No. This is not on a ride. This is the ride. This is the ride. Yeah. To waste time trying to convince it to get off of itself is pointless. It's the ride. Yeah. It would love not to be, but it's the ride. Yeah, so when you see that, there's a distinction between you and that. Yes. And then a clarity fills up that distinction. More a clarity, that and you. Yeah. 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 So, yeah. I'm having a wonderful night. This is good. Yeah.
Good.
Went south today. We went south. We had to get, so we got home at 10 to 7. We went south to Santa Cruz and just been driving for a few hours. Then walking into the Zoom is fun. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, all right. Anyone else? Oh, there's JP and Clifford, and we got Southeast Asia representing. Yeah, that's cool. Vietnam and Chiang Mai. Anyone else, Dave? And David,
Yes.
let's all thank David for doing such a great job. He jumped in when Mike was going to have to leave and done a fantastic job, Dave. And you couldn't have been doing it if you were in jail or in the hospital. So there you go. You see?
Very true. I'm just happy to be here helping. Thank you, Paul. Definitely true. Definitely true.
Anyone else?
That looks like all the hands right now. Although we have
All
one
right,
person
great.
in the waiting room.
Hey,
Well,
Paul.
there's non-self Jim is here. Here he is. Let's
Hey,
go.
Hey, Paul, you just triggered
Hey.
something there. Sorry, man.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Paul. You said something about Santa Cruz. Did you ever meet that guy down in Santa Cruz by the name of Master Master Gnome? It was a
Oh.
Ramana Maharshi, kind of like they had an institute there. I don't know if they're still there, but it was Ramana Maharshi's teachings. His name was Master Gnome, like Nome, Alaska. One day I figured it out. It means know me.
Oh, yeah. I figured it out finally. Yeah.
So I wondered if you ever met him. He was
No.
he
No, I
did a lot
haven't.
of he was real good with the Maharshi stuff. Long
Oh,
story.
really? No, I never. I haven't. I haven't been looking for anyone for 20 something years. Yeah. Now, if he was a master at leatherworks, I probably would have seen him. But I'm interested in that. But yeah, this my own feeling here was we want to keep it like an independent bakery. Yeah. So I can go listen to people and I can understand maybe what I think they're saying, but I don't think it's important to. It's the message I get is just keep making our own little muffins and putting them out there. Yeah. Don't you? I've heard he has a great recipe. I don't know. I don't care. Yeah. Just here's the muffin. Yeah. It's nice to have a feeling of it when you're speaking, when it's speaking through you. Yeah. 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 So, yes, anyone else? No, I never met Master Gnome. But I like the idea of know me. Yeah, that's cool. All the good names were taken by the time I showed up. Yeah, it's like it was sort of Anand's. Where am I going to put an Anand or a Shri in there? Yeah, so.
The G's
Oh,
were
the cat.
taken.
Hold on a second. I got to let the cat out too. These are my masters, the cat and the dog. Those are, yes. We have a telepathy. Nothing has to be said. They just look at me and then I know. Because it's not going to be an infinite amount of things. It's either go out, give me some food. The dog drops a ball everywhere I am, drops a ball so that I get the message she wants me to throw the ball. She doesn't take into consideration anything that I would want to do. She just expects that I would want to do what she wants to do. Yeah. She's got a new one. The balls, I'm sitting at the coffee table drinking in the morning, and she has the ball that's saliva filled, like a tennis ball, tons of germs and shit. And she rolls them on both of my knees underneath the table to get the message. So I feel like I've been kneeling in a puddle, and she just keeps rolling it, doing it. It's just these subtle messages. So. So, yeah, and she gets what she wants for sure. Yeah. All right. Anyone else?
Those are all the hands right now.
Do you see that? Why it looks like what a lot of people say goes over your head because you're not the target of the message. Yeah. You and I are not the target of the message. We're the obstruction to the message. This is the obstruction to the message. This isn't, it'll be easily won over. No, it's the obstacle. Yeah. We want to get the message through the obstacle to Buddha, to mind, to light. Yeah. We don't want Bill or me to understand it. That's unnecessary. We want to have an understanding of that which wants an understanding. Yeah. That which craves or has a need to know. We want to have an understanding about that. Yeah. And the understanding about that is I'm not that. Yeah. It's not a very deep, convoluted understanding. Whatever you learn about it and you understand it, it basically has the same crescendo. I'm not that. That's the value. That's the value. It's sort of like I'm not that. On having never left, the seeker is the sought. The greatest mystery is reality attaining reality. There's only like a sentence or two in all of them. Yeah, it's just I'm not that. You know? And after a while, There's a sinking into it. Yeah, because it's true, literally. Yeah. That's one of the reasons why you can have great confidence, because it's actually true. Yeah. So you see what you're not, you see what you're not. And I'm talking when seeing is like the awareness, not the eyes, because there's no thing you can see. You can't take an x-ray of what you're not. It's an activity, yeah, that's going on, that's presenting an interpretation of an event that's based on space and time. Yeah. Seeing singularity when there isn't any, seeing separation where there ain't. And the only way it can keep that story going is the idea of that there's all these long-lasting, independent, separate things with the attribute of no thing, yeah, but with the self-will and the focus and the drive and the seeking as a thing, yeah. So trying to talk to thing about no thing, I found, doesn't go anywhere. I found that. So I'd rather talk to the no thing about the thing. Yeah, would. We can describe what we're not. It's easily described. Yeah, but you can't describe the indescribable. The great art is attempting to do that, like Kabir and, Rumi and Hafiz, these people. They went through the great art of trying to describe the indescribable. They did it through poetry, everything, yes? That's because you can never do it. That's why it's the greatest challenge, yeah? To try to express the unexpressible is a great challenge, yeah? And you're never going to succeed. So the success is in the attempt, is the trying, yeah? Completely realize that it's going to fail because you're attempting to express the inexpressible. That's the beauty of it. Yeah. So in this, did you or did you not feel like every other topic when you were introduced to spirituality that you were going to study something, that you were going to do something, that you were going to have an understanding, yeah, and that you were going to arrive somewhere? Mostly, it sounded like almost everything else, yeah. That's the flaw. That's the obstruction. Yeah, it's imaged as this, but that's the obstruction. What you are taking itself to be this other thing is now looking for what it is. Using what it is to look for what it is a temporary blindness to what you are. Yeah. So, do you think every pair of glasses you put on, they're not the success? It's when you don't need to see it. You don't need to see anymore with glasses. The understanding is not vision, it's a view. Yeah. And it implies a vision. But when the vision kicks in, the understandings get demoted quite a lot. Because they were all there to hold a space until the vision became obvious. Yeah. And then if you have a seat assignment, then the understanding has valuable. I'm not working on an understanding all day. I'm not trying to understand more. I'm not at all. Yeah. I've been freed from all that. And so have you. The basis is right there. I'm not interested in what I used to be interested in. I'm not. I'm not interested in escaping where I am because I realize I can't. It took a long time, but I got it. Yeah. I got it when great master Huang Po said, you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. You can't use light to seek light. You can't use mind, big M mind, to seek mind. Why? Because you are the Buddha, you are light, and you are mind. That's the answer. Yeah. Yeah. Now, I don't care if Paul understands that or not. The Buddha does. The mind does. The light does. Yeah. that's for me to try to reach that high. I don't got it in me, really. So basically, humility is the highest level I can probably rise to, recognizing the limitations of this vehicle. Yeah. Now I've heard the message as the Buddha, and then all this shit made complete sense. Yeah. I've been trying to get out of Paul as Paul since I was 6 years old, basically. I used a lot of different vehicles, and I'll tell you something. The vehicles may run out, but the mental selfing will keep trying to get out of self as self. It just will. It's an activity. It's an agitation that just begets more agitation. It may promise rest, but it can't rest. It can't. Just like it says in the Bible, the Son of Man, the Son of Man can never find a place to rest its head, so to speak. Yes, because the head is fucking agitated. Yeah, I watch it with the pup. The dog, unless it's exhausted, cannot rest. Its eyes are moving everywhere. It's laying there, but it's not in rest. Its head is active. Yeah, yeah. So you can't use the Buddha to seek the Buddha. And then what happens is the first reaction is, I'm guilty of it. So you think you've been using the Buddha to seek the Buddha. No, I should not have done that. No. See, this isn't about more guilt and more shame on a spiritual level. It isn't. It's about there's a mechanical activity that has nothing to do with you. It just does what it does. Yes. Like when it will just keep drawing a ship. That's all. Just keeps drawing a ship. Yeah. All right. Today we're going to draw. No, just keeps drawing a ship. That's what it does. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You heard it, man. You heard, haven't you? When I got struck sober, we have a sense of it called the innermost. My head did not get sober. It did not get sober. I was struck sober. The whole system was struck with something. The system itself didn't get it, didn't acquire it, didn't arrive there. It got struck like lightning. Yeah. And the lightning was like a complete convincing that I'm fucked. Yeah. And a small little statement underneath it, and I'm not managerial quality. That hasn't changed now in 34 years. Yeah. I haven't gotten any new answers. That's it. That was an ending of something and a beginning of something else. Yeah. Yeah. So, anyone else? No?
I think that's it right now. Yeah, no, we're good.
That's all right. Yeah. I need to eat some food, I think. Or eat. See, my girlfriend says, you don't have to say food. You just want to eat. But, I like to be more specific. I don't know,
There are people who eat couches and things.
So I want to be clear. She says, why do you say that? All Americans say that. Eat food. We understand you. It's food. Yes. All right. All right. So, hey, Dave, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. Hey, Dave, I appreciate you coming. I have a fondness for Oz, and yeah. Don't make me change my opinion, bro.
Thanks, Paul. And I'm one of the lucky ones down here. There's no water at all because I'm in Melbourne, so all the water's there with the other. I forget the name.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah.
I used to live in Byron. I lived in Byron for a while, so I was nice to hear from John R. because he lives above right where I used to live. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a friend with property in Byron, so every time you mention the property story, the development, I get a bit of a laugh. But yeah, anyway, nice. Thanks. Thank you.
Hey, see you, bro. Yeah. We got Bill and Kathleen. Yes, there they are. Nice to see you guys. Thank you so much.
I want to ask real fast, is there going to be a meeting here on Zen BitSlap on Saturday? Because it's not on the website.
Oh, it will be. Yeah, we have to. The website's having trouble. There's a meeting at 1:00.
Thank you.
It'll be Zoom and live. Yeah, and also tomorrow, if it's not up, the recovery meeting will also be on at 10:30 Pacific time. Everything will be on as it usually is. I don't go to this website. I got to be on it more. I got to see what's happening, but it's been glitching a little. So
Thank you.
I talked to Mike about it, David. I don't know.
Yeah, I someone had mentioned it in the chat, and I took a look at it, and I saw it on my mobile phone. It's fine on the computer, but on the mobile, it's a little strange right now. So I'll talk to him about it.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, yes, yeah. So yes, so we'll have a meeting Saturday, 1:00,
Thank you.
unless unintended consequences occur. I don't know. You never know. But if we don't have it, there'll be a message, probably on Sunday.
Is there a way is there a way to link to the meeting if it's not on the website? That's the only way I've been able to get in is push the Zoom link on the web from the website.
It's always the same Zoom link.
Hmm?
It's always the same Zoom link.
It's the same
They can
Zoom
click on,
link.
yeah, they can click on any of the Zoom links to get to any meeting.
Okay.
Kind of a cool little
So
secret.
any meeting will take you to the same Zoom.
Okay. Thanks.
That's
Of course.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jacob. Yeah.
Thank you.
As it would be with ZBS.
Yeah. Well,
Except the Awakening Together. The Awakening Together link puts you to their page. So that's the only link that doesn't.
yeah, that's the Tuesday one at 4:30 Pacific time.
Right.
Another non-duality group. So, yeah, they have to. Yeah, I couldn't get in on that one myself, but the lady sent me a link. But yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, we'll try to get it clearer. But for all our talks, it's the same Zoom. Yeah, great. All right, we got PK from Long Island.
Hey, Paul, just one thing I want to share. I had a teacher who taught, was it like a digital logic teacher, and his name was Noyes. But he was like, no, my name is not Noyes. It's No Yes.
It was no yes.
No Yes, but pronounced Noyes.
Oh yeah.
But I also wanted to say what you were saying about the dog and the cat was amazing. I remember picking up a book when I was overseas where I had no one who could understand me because it was a different country. And it was How to Teach Physics, Quantum Physics to a
I think
Dog.
that was the reason why they couldn't understand you, PK.
Exactly. But what you were saying is
I
amazing
don't
because
think it was a different country, but go ahead. Sorry.
but so there was a book. It's a famous book about how to teach quantum physics. It's supposedly it's like the dog having a conversation with the author. And
Yeah.
it gets pretty heavily into it. But what you were sharing was pretty amazing because I think you're so right. When you communicate with your dogs and cats, they are so direct. They're so to the point. They don't really beat around the bush. They're very simple. There's just a couple of things like you were saying. And then you could be saying, like I could be having a conversation with the cat and the cat looks at me like, what are you even saying? Like they know, they can see right through you.
The cat's way beyond the dog, though. The cat's an alien. No, they are. The cats are alien masters of us. Yeah.
Like they're like the Zen masters and mistresses.
They got a little bit of a resentment factor too, though.
That's
The
kind of
cats
true.
hold
You're
the grudge.
right.
The cats hold a grudge, man. Yeah, the cat right now is pissed at me. Yeah, because she was. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
She's
thanks
walking around
again. Great meeting. I love you. The pointings are so great because I just always think, man, this guy, he severed me from myself, but it was the best thing that ever happened, because like when you're severing yourself from something that never was anyway, but it's just, what? It just makes life, oh man, it just changes the whole, quality of life. I mean, hallelujah, man. I'll tell you, man. it just never gets old. It's nothing new but it never gets old. And it's just great to hear you. And and to see everybody here. It's awesome. My schedule doesn't always permit, but when it does, man, yeah, it's awesome. So just thank you. I raise my cup to you, my friend.
Thanks, PK. Yes, thank you very much. We got Tyler E. There he is. Yes. We got Tommy. We got James's phone. Hey, James, how are you? We got Kenneth from Vancouver. We got Alex. I guess you're in Hudson Valley. Yes. Yes. Stefan on having never left. Always a pleasure. Jacob, nice to see you, Jacob. How's everything going with everything? Yeah? All right, good. Call me at any time if you like. Yeah.
Will do.
We've got Jim. Jim, Jim, not Jim. Yes. Well, Kerry, always a pleasure, Kerry. I can only get through to Judith through Kerry now. Yeah. Kerry's my.
Here's the thing. So she texts me, she's like, hey, I tried to get on Paul, but my spyware says it's not secure site. So I text back, I say, hey, it's secure enough, get on, but whatever.
All right. Yeah. All right. See you, Kerry. Yeah. Chris, nice to see you, Chris. He's back to his, the guardian of the small door there. This is good. We need one. We got John R. from the east coast of Oz. Nice to see you, John. Take care of yourself. Angie, there she is. Lovely Angie from south of Toronto. We got JP. Yeah, he's chilling out. Nice to see you, JP. Thank you for all the donation and everything. Very appreciated. Same with Alan. And he is the greatest donation of my life. Amelia. Yes. Yes. Like Grace. Yeah. What's this? Someone has a beautiful, looks like a latte there. Susan K., the lady who sends me money for lattes. Pretty nice. We got, who's this? Oh, Zoe. Zoe. Nice not to see you, Zoe, and to see you.
Yeah, I'm lying horizontal, so it's
Oh,
lovely
good.
to hear you.
Good way to take the message, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Suzanne W. Nice to see you, Suzanne. Not see you. Let me see. We got Alan. Again, thank you and your brother for all the support. Always just nice to see Alan when he comes. And that's about it. Let's see. Yeah, fantastic. Thank you, everyone. And we'll see each other Saturday. We'll be there, Bill and Kathleen. 1 o'clock.
And tomorrow.
All right. And tomorrow, recovery, 10:30 Pacific. Yes. All right. See you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.